What is analog living? It's really a mindset and a lifestyle. You may have seen a lot of carousel posts about this too, but it's really about just being present, enjoying physical in person experiences like the real world that exists outside of the cell phone, and in being intentional in the slowness of your life. So instead of constant digital stimulation, we're sitting with our thoughts. I think there's a big trend happening right now too, where people are taking like an hour out of their day to sit there and just to sit and to not do anything. And it honestly reminds me of, when you were a kid and there was downtime in the summer or, on a weekend when the weather wasn't great and you were kind of just like, what do I do to fill the time? I think that actually sparked so much creativity and so much innovation that people are returning back to that to get some of that creativity back. They're no longer just stuck in this robotic scroll, and I think it's really helpful. So it's really about using tech on purpose instead of by default. So instead of having a downtime moment or being on an elevator or sitting down waiting for a doctor's appointment, people are looking around them and being present instead of sitting there and scrolling on their phone. It's really about being real, tactical, and human in a world that's optimized for like speed, algorithms, constant output, constant content creation. Gary Vee probably would not like my views on this because he's one that says, post all this content throughout the day. But I think finding that balance is really important for your mental health, and also probably why I don't have the following that Gary Vee does. So anyway, what does analog living really mean? And this is how you can apply it in your life as well. So it means having fewer inputs and deeper experiences. So instead of scrolling, and if you want to absorb content, it's maybe reading a physical book, watching a movie, like sitting down and watching a movie for a few hours instead of picking up your phone, writing things by hand instead of typing them out or using your notes app, filming, like photography, like using a real camera, using a disposable camera, like being more present with your content and also more conscious. I actually just had a conversation about this where it's like the content you take with your phone versus an old camera from like the 90s, there's such a difference. I know the quality and the megapixels are so much better on the phone, but when you had to take a picture back in the day, like you cherish that photo because it used up one of the pictures on your camera, like your camera allotted film amount, and then you had to pay to get developed. So there's just like all these hurdles, and I think that made each piece of content or each photo that you were taking that much valuable. I literally say piece of content. You could tell how much I've gotten into social over the years. Cooking without multitasking, so like sitting down, reading, doing a recipe, like actually cooking. This one's clearly not something I really enjoy because I'm not the best chef. Conversations without phones on the table. So, when you go out to dinner and someone has their phone and they just kind of like place it upside down on the table or they place it beside them. And like, I'm guilty of doing this too. It's removing that, right? It's like having a conversation without the phone in the picture. It's also that shift from consuming everything to experiencing it fully. So going and experiencing that situation for yourself. Like you see an idea on Instagram, then you take it and you run with it and you go to that restaurant or you go to that event. It's really about that shift from just sitting there and consuming it to actually experiencing it yourself. It also means slower rhythms. So it's pushing back on that urgency culture, which I think is something we're going to see a lot of. People are tired of feeling constantly reachable, is the way to say it, I guess. Like, so people don't want someone to sit there and text them and expect a text back. Like I am a text backer in like 3 to 5 business days, roughly. So like they want that constant feeling like they have to be reachable to go away in the new year. It's really about having like your ideas marinate, not really feeling the pressure to post instantly the second you're doing something. You're actually physically enjoying where you are and then posting an Instagram story later.